I will be exposing the most overrated prospect in the UFC right now. We'll look at who they've actually beaten, where their biggest weaknesses are, and why I think they're going to struggle against actual ranked competition. Who's the prospect we're talking about? Is it Marwan Rahiki? Is it Tommy McMillen? Is it Alden Correa? Or Raul Rosas Jr.? As you could tell from the thumbnail though, the prospect is Marwan Rahiki that we are talking about today. Marwan Rahiki's first appearance came on Dana White's Contender Series, where he fought Mulumbe, where he knocked him out in the second round. It was a very, very tough fight for Marwan. Marwan has solid striking, but he does lack a chin. He has been knocked down twice, fakes the teep up the middle, gets him to bite, but then he resets, steps back a little bit, then throws out a head kick. After the head kick, boom, gets that leg down immediately, backs up, resets again, starts looking to either land a 1-2 down the middle if his opponent rushes in, or if he doesn't, he's going to take a small step forward and throw another leg kick. Marwan takes the step in. He's either looking to throw this rear leg kick, or he's either looking to throw that knee right up the middle. It's all up to him at this point, but his opponent throws a massive right overhand. Boom. Connects right on the chin, drops him. Starts hitting him with some ground and pound. Marwan is a very solid power puncher. He has good striking, good boxing, but he lacks the chin. His chin is just not it. He got knocked down twice in this first round, I believe, and almost lost the fight because of it. His recovery was good enough to where he could stay in the fight. Does end up scrambling a little bit, getting to his back. Mulumbe is still raining down punches on him, but Marwan is taking them pretty well. Marwan's recovery at this point is pretty solid. He recovered pretty fast. He got dropped, was a little dazed at first, but went right to work, went right to his back, started working, tried to go for an armbar. Wasn't really close to it. To be honest, it wasn't even close. It was more of just to threaten it. After that, Marwan is able to try somewhat get up, but Mulumbe takes his back again. Marwan drags Mulumbe to the cage so he can try to get him off of him. Mulumbe almost got the choke here 1 or 2 times, I believe. Was pretty close to it, but Marwan stayed calm, stayed patient, and eventually does end up reversing the takedown. He's in a 50-50 position. Mulumbe, he's looking just to stay on top of him, keep him on the ground, do everything in his power to keep him on the ground. But Marwan gets up, boom, lands a nasty left right to Mulumbe's chin, lands a nice jab, boom, hits him with the cross. Pretty much it's over from there for Mulumbe. It's just straight downhill from there. After he got dropped there, Mulumbe comes right in, throws another overhand right, connects. Marwan tanks it though. Boom, there's another overhand right. The overhand right for Mulumbe here was his best weapon, to be honest, because he just kept landing it. Marwan doesn't get a hand up, and I don't think he even got one hand up on any of these overhands. He just let them come through every time, and I believe he got dropped by 2 of them in the first round. This is late in the first round, and Mulumbe is still landing that right hand. It is kind of crazy that Marwan didn't get knocked out here. He is incredibly tough. He does have solid recovery though, but I do think there's too many holes to where he is going to get exposed. If you haven't watched this fight, Marwan does end up getting the finish, ends up finishing Mulumbe. Mulumbe was actually a very solid opponent. A lot of people call him a bum and, oh, he's a regional bum. No, Mulumbe was actually a solid fighter. People like to discredit as soon as they lose. They just start hating. Mulumbe is actually a very solid fighter, and I do think he will be on Dana White's Contender Series again at some point, as long as he keeps racking up those KO finishes. All right, let's get into Hardwick versus Marwan. Hardwick versus Marwan, I do really want to highlight one thing in this fight specifically, and it is one of my main points on why Marwan is very overrated. Marwan was looking pretty sharp against Hardwick, opening up with a couple kicks, which leads us into this sequence here. Marwan landed a clean 1-2 before baiting Hardwick in, but Hardwick didn't bite. So Marwan resets, fires off this head kick right here. Instantly gets his foot back down, resets, tries to bait Hardwick in, try to land that nasty left, but Hardwick doesn't bait, stands right in front of him. So what does Marwan do? Throws another leg kick, because that is probably one of the most thrown strikes by him. He's either going to throw a body kick, head kick, or a calf kick. So Marwan here is looking to throw another kick. Throws the kick, but this is where he made a mistake. He's already thrown about 4 to 5 kicks within probably the first minute. And Hardwick, if I'm Hardwick, I'm expecting a kick. So I think Hardwick was anticipating the kick, was waiting on it, boom, grabbed the kick, made Marwan spin, and ends up snatching his back. Hardwick does snatch up his back probably within 2-3 seconds, snatched it up really fast. Marwan didn't even know what was really happening, but he stayed calm, got against the fence, and tried to start peeling Hardwick off. Does get Hardwick into a very, very awkward position. Hardwick has a hard time staying on and eventually falls off. As you can see right here, looks kind of like he's trying to go for an armbar. They both get up, both kind of reset, take a breath or two. Hardwick starts pressuring Marwan, starts landing the jab here. This is the main point I want to focus on, is the jab. The jab of Hardwick landed so cleanly every time. Marwan has his hand right here. If Hardwick was even to throw a right overhand, he is still landing right here. I think Marwan's striking defense is horrible. I can show you another couple examples here. So this is just the first jab I wanted to highlight. Second, you can't really see it. It was pretty hard because when he does land the jab, his head hides it, so I had to do it just before he lands it. And then boom, another one right here. Both of his hands are right here. They never really move. They stay in the same position no matter what. Boom, lands another clean jab. He does get a little bit of a piece of it, but Hardwick does land pretty cleanly here. I do apologize for all the pitchers. I don't want to get this video taken down, and I do just want to highlight the mistakes or holes that I see in Marwan's game. With this Hardwick fight, the only thing that I seen was mainly the jab. Marwan just took so much damage from the jab, and it was just unnecessary damage he was taking. I just think he could have fought a way better fight. He could have fought a way better technical fight if he went out there, worked on his striking defense a little bit. I think this would have been a masterclass. He went out there, broke Hardwick's jaw, and he ended up quitting in the corner because it was too hard for him to breathe, and he had a broken jaw. You can't really expect a guy to compete after that. It takes some balls. But Marwan does have a heavy hand. But I feel like once he goes up against a guy, like I'm going to mention later in the video, he's going to get smoked. I think against a high pace pressure striker or whatever, can be a grappler, can be a wrestler, any high pace striker, wrestler, grappler, I think they beat Marwan, because I feel like Marwan's very good overall, but at the end of the day, he lacks the striking defense, and he just lacks overall, I think, fight IQ. He throws the exact same combos every time. It's either he baits you in and tries to brawl with you, throw some hooks, or he's spamming leg kicks. When you do come in, a jab cross, maybe throw an occasional hook in there, but usually he's throwing leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks, and a jab cross. He doesn't really have too much variety in his strikes, and I do think he is very predictable. But here is one thing I do want to highlight. Jack Jenkins versus Marwan Rahiki. If this fight was to happen, I 100% believe Jack Jenkins would have knocked him out in the first round, and I don't think it would have been close. I think Jack has so much power in his hands that he could have easily landed a right overhand to Marwan's chin, connected early, couple punches to finally get him out of there. I think Jack's power would have knocked the lights out of Marwan. Tommy McMillen versus Marwan Rahiki will be happening September 12th at UFC Noche. We have an absolute banger in this fight. Gonna be firework. But here is the thing. McMillen's gonna knock him the fuck out. Marwan is going to fucking sleep. There is absolutely no world where Marwan wins this fight. I'm kidding. There is a possibility where Marwan wins this fight, and if that is a lucky early KO. If he doesn't get a lucky early KO, Tommy McMillen masterclass incoming, which I do think is going to happen. Tommy McMillen's pressure, his pace, and overall his striking isn't the best. Sorry, Tommy McMillen's pace, striking, and overall, he's just a dog. This guy just never quits. He will push the same pace for 15 minutes straight. Yeah, his chin may not fully be there. But one thing I want to highlight is when Tommy got dropped in his last fight against Montez, what happened? Did he instantly pull guard? No, he instantly got back up and his legs were fine. I think he just got caught. I think it was just a little off balance, got caught, and boom, instantly recovered. Boom, he's right back in it. Started walking Montez down again. When you see Rahiki get knocked down, though, he's pulling guard. He is in survival mode. McMillen, he's not really in survival mode. He's still there. He can get knocked down. He can get clipped. I guess you could say you can get clipped, but he's still fully there. It's not like he's dazed, or it's not like his eyes roll in the back of his head. He's still fully there, and it's not like he even got dropped pretty much. It's like he's just pulling guard. Tommy McMillen is a pressure fighter, and I do think he will use his jab and that overhand right to his advantage. Just him working with Ezra Elliott, which will improve his cardio, especially with Ezra being a very dominant wrestler. He has Suga, who can mimic Marwan, and to be honest, I think Tommy McMillen is set up for success here. He has Suga. I believe they're probably similar in height to Marwan, and it's so easy to mimic Marwan. All you have to do, not defend your chin, and throw a lot of leg kicks, throw with power. That's about it. There's not really much to Marwan. It's not like you have to worry about a crazy pace or crazy anything. You just have to worry about the power, which I do think Tommy can subdue that. Lots of leg kicks, start digging to the body, make him have his hands down even more. And next thing you know, that overhand right and a jab and then an overhand right will knock out Marwan Rahiki. Before I do get into the summary of the video, I just want to say I don't think Marwan is a bad fighter. I don't hate him or anything, or no hate towards him. I do think he is a very solid prospect. I just see so many holes in his game that I think that he needs to be stopped. He needs to get knocked out. He needs to lose that decision by sub or KO to show him, yeah, I need to work on my striking defense. Instead of just knocking guys out, coasting, not really showing his full capabilities, and he's kind of just plateauing. He's not really showing that he can be really great. He's just showing he has a lot of KO power. He's a very exciting fighter, which I do like. At the end of the day, I really do hope he does improve on these things, his striking defense, and overall just his fight IQ, because if he can start getting more strikes into his bag and just overall improve his fight IQ and willingness to defend strikes and not just let people kind of beat him up, I do think he is set up for greatness. He has the capabilities to become a top 5, top 10 fighter easily. His chin does set him back, which I do think will be a huge part. His chin does set him back, which I do think will only continue to be a problem if he lets guys continue to land the jab, continue to land the right overhand. Because if you're taking all this unnecessary damage against these guys you should be beating pretty easily in a sense, and you're letting them kind of beat you up and you're kind of having more competitive fights than you should, I don't think that's a good sign. You could say the same thing for Tommy McMillen, but that's a whole nother topic. We'll get into that another time. I truly believe Marwan does have a lot of promise, but overall, he is overrated. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's shit. I'm not saying he's destined for failure. I do think he has a lot of promise, and overall, I do think he will be a top 5 fighter at some point. I just think, as of right now, he is very overrated, and he will lose pretty soon. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised the way he loses, especially to Tommy McMillen. Tommy McMillen is that type of guy you look at him, doesn't seem like he's the best fighter, but as soon as he gets in that cage, as soon as that cage closes, the timer starts, boom. He's low-key that guy. He's going in there, he's putting on entertaining fights. He may not be the best, but he has that dog in him, and overall, he's going to put it on you, and he's going to low-key make you be like, man, I should have trained harder, or man, I shouldn't have took this fight. Will Tommy lose at some point? Yes. Will, just like Marwan? Yes. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to highlight the jab and overall the overhand right or left. I truly do believe Marwan will get knocked out within his next 2 fights. Was I saying that last fight? No. Ollie Smith is a fucking can. Buddy was 4-2. Don't even know why they even booked that fight. I'll say this: Marwan is overrated only because of the fans and of him thinking he is a top 5 fighter or a top 10 fighter as of right now, when that isn't the case. If he improves his striking defense and overall fight IQ, I do think he will be very, very dangerous, even more dangerous than he is now. That'll end off the video. Hope you guys have a good day. I will see you guys in the next one.